Roads are cut off, phone lines are down, electricity is down, and you don't see anything, no one can see anything, and all you can hear are screams around you, and you're like, how bad is this?
You might be in a place where you have no maps or where you're relying on very old maps. Just finding your way around can be difficult.
We need to know much more than what we've ever had to know in the past. Having tools and analysis such as provided by UNOSAT is not extremely useful, it's indispensable in the current world.
UNOSAT's mission is really to put tools and solutions in the hands of our sister agencies and the UN member states. We are really assisting with our objective technological approach the different mandated agencies within the system in terms of a humanitarian response, in terms of human rights, in terms of human security. One of the main benefits of what we can provide is clarity, objective information in typical situations of chaos.
We're using the imagery that UNITAR is providing in the context of the Syria crisis, where we're seeing scores of villages engulfed with conflict in southern Syria, which is resulting in hundreds of thousands of people fleeing towards Jordan. We're also using it to map out the refugee camps in Jordan. We've been seeing the progression of the Zatri camp over several months, and we're able to use the analysis which was provided by UNOSAT to describe how many new tents have been set up just in the last month. We're able to have a calculation of how much land was still available to construct additional tented sites. So it's extremely useful to receive this type of service from UNOSAT, not only the satellite imagery, but the analysis.
When the Thailand floods in 2011 happened, UNOSAT was requested to provide satellite imagery interpretation.
So basically what we did is we did what we consider as a monitoring project. We provide a series of flood extents. Sometimes the flood extents vary between, day by day or every few days or every other day. So this is in mid-August of 2011, and you can see that the floodwaters started in the north. When you get down to mid-September, you can see the floodwaters have increased and they've moved further south towards Bangkok. The next layer shows mid-October, and again you can see the waters have very much so increased, and not only that, they're continuing to move further down south towards Bangkok and are basically accumulating down south. Now the one here, this kind of shows a general regression of the floodwaters. The floodwaters have all but completely dissipated from the north and have begun to start draining in the south. So this is basically just putting all the flood layers together in one coherent data set. It kind of helped the various planning process of their relief operations. So you had on one hand getting people out of the water, and on the other hand you need to know where you need to send the the tents, the shelters, the food, and all of our maps kind of help provide information so that they can best and most efficiently send the resources to these people.
When we first were made aware of the situation in Kyrgyzstan, and the first media reports and the first situation reports started to tick in about an ethnic conflict in Kyrgyzstan, we immediately went to check the satellite imagery.
Everything started with a phone call, and you have a UNOSAT colleague immediately checking satellite image availability and immediately starting their analysis. By the moment we reach the field, we get UNOSAT first analysis in our inbox. Thanks to the satellite analysis, you could see exactly where the fire was, where you had the roadblocks, also where people in need were drawing SOS symbol on the road. You could also understand which neighborhood were under pressure. In the meantime, thanks to our first collected data from the field, we are able to feedback the analysis that the UNOSAT has done, and then UNOSAT is able to run a second or even a third set of analysis, much more precise, much more reliable, because we are feeding them with some more information from the field. Kyrgyzstan has been the cornerstone for REACH, because it has been the first time we really implemented the REACH initiative. The idea was, let's put the resources that we have together and let's make possible that the humanitarian community immediately after a crisis or even during a crisis has the opportunity to access an amount of information that usually is not there but is needed in order to go forward with the response.
UNOSAT has the benefit of being able to rely on the expertise of UNITAR, both in terms of training methodologies, in terms of how to best implement the training, in terms of also how to ensure a proper knowledge transfer.
This course is about geographic information systems, about making particularly maps in emergency situations, but also mapping activities that can support recovery efforts and long-term planning.
I never know that UNOSAT is providing trainings. So I came to the University of Copenhagen and I found this as an elective course. So I decided to go to attend this course.
In my fieldwork, I've seen how valuable it is to have good maps. And a lot of times we are in contexts where you cannot find maps. You cannot go into a shop and just buy a map.
Yeah, I'm sure it will change the way I work because I have the skills from here to do the rapid assessment.
I want to learn what kind of maps we can make, how we make them, and also to analyze them.
I think anybody who does this course is going to come out of it with a far better understanding of both mapping as a process and an understanding of how UNOSAT, satellite imaging, remote sensing, etc., how this analysis can really assist them.
People are getting more understanding of what it is that we do. And in a way, it's kind of helping us to help them more. And in many ways, it helps us empower them.
Whether it be from the planning process to the response to the evaluation, satellite imagery is indispensable and will become the norm rather than the exception.